Hello everyone, welcome to another video of General Mathematics of class 10, and today we are going to start chapter 1, that is real numbers. So in this chapter we are going to learn how to find HCF, Euclid's method, Euclid's division lemma. So what is Euclid? So we all know how to find HCF by factorizing the numbers and the highest common factors. We take it out and we multiply them to get the HCF. How do we do it? Euclid's method. Euclid's division method, which is also called the Euclid's division lemma. Okay, so how do we do this? You all have heard or you all have used the formula where we say dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. I hope you remember this formula. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, and we will use this formula itself to find the HCF of two numbers. Okay, so let us take one example first. Suppose you want to find the HCF between suppose say the numbers are 3 and 27. Okay, so what is the HCF of 3 and 27? So how do you do this? So first of all, what we need to do is we are going to take the larger number here, 27. So we can write 27 in terms of 3 or in terms of multiples of 3. So we know that 27 is equal to 3 into 9 plus 3 into 9 is 27. So what is the remainder? Remainder is 0. So here we have this as the dividend, 3 is the divisor, into this is the quotient, that is our 9, plus the remainder, and the remainder here is 0. Okay, so what will be the HCF? The HCF will be this divisor. So therefore the HCF will be equal to 3. Okay, very simple right here. In this case, we take the larger number first and we try to express it as a multiple of the smaller number. As here we have got the remainder is 0, the divisor is taken as the HCF. Simple. Now let's try another one, a little bit complex. Suppose we want to find the HCF between 6 and let us say 45. Okay, so what will be the HCF of 6 and 45? So let's try and find this out. So again, here the larger number is 45, so we will express 45 in the form of 6. So what we can write, 6 into 7 is 42, right? Suppose we divide here 45 by 6. So 6 sevens are 42 and we get 3 here. So this is the divisor, this is the quotient, and this is the remainder, right? So what we write here, 6 into 7 plus 3, right? Since 3 is the remainder. So here we have not got our required remainder to be 0. So we will continue the process till we get the remainder 0. So now which numbers do we take? We take 6, the divisor, and the remainder. You always consider the divisor and the remainder. So here we will write 6 is equal to 3 into 2 plus 3 to the 6, and the remainder is 0. Okay, so here 6 is the divisor. In making the remainder, we will make the remainder as the next divisor. So 6 is becomes the dividend now. Here 6 is the dividend, this is the divisor, this is the quotient, and this is the remainder. So what is the, so here we have got our required remainder to be 0. When you get the remainder as 0, you always consider the divisor as the HCF. So therefore HCF will be equal to 3. Okay, let us try one more to make it more clear. Let us try one more example. Suppose you want to find the HCF of say 15 and suppose what can I say 55. Okay, 15 and 55. So again here 55 is a larger number, so we will write 55 is equal to, in terms of 15, so 15 becomes the divisor. So if you find it confusing to write in a single line, try to divide it in the rough space. So 15 threes are, we have 45. What is the remainder? 10. So what we will write? We will write 15 into 3 plus 10. Okay, so 15 into 3 plus 10. Done. So here, is our remainder 0? No, it is 10. Our remainder is here is 10. So the sum is not over. This time we will select these two, our divisor and our remainder. So what we will do? We will write our divisor first is equal to, in terms of 10, so it will be 10 into 1 is 10, the remainder is 5. So 10 ones are 10 plus 5 is 15. Again, we have not got our required remainder. The remainder is still 5. So again, we will take these two. So next we will write 10 is equal to 5 into 2 plus 0. Okay, so now we have got our remainder as 0. Therefore, this divisor will be our HCF. So therefore, the HCF here is equal to 5. Okay, now I hope you understood how we do it. The HCF is 5. So this divisor, using the formula of dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, we get our required HCF. Okay, now let's start with the exercise and see if you can understand what we are doing here. So we are going to start with exercise 1.1 and let us see how to do the first few sums. So our first sum is, if you look at the question in your book, you will see that using Euclid's division algorithm, find the HCF of. So let us try in Roman 1. Our Roman 1 is 135 and 225. So it is 135 and 225. So how to find the HCF of 135 and 225? So as we said, step by step, let's go step by step. So how will we solve this? So in order to solve this, what we will do, we will first take our larger number. Our larger number is 225. We will express it in terms of 135. So it will be 135. So what we can do in order to find, we will take 225, we will divide it by 135. So 135 ones are 135. So what we get here is 0, then 22 minus 13 is 9. So it is 90. So it will be 135 into 1 plus, what is the remainder? 90. Okay, so again we have not got our remainder is 0. So next step will be, we will take 135 and 90. So it will be 135 equal to 90 into 1 plus 45. Okay, you can try it by division. Next, again we have not got our remainder is 0. So we will continue the process. Now we will take 90 here. So it will be 45 into 2 plus 0. So ultimately we have got our remainder as 0. So which one will be the HCF? This number 45 will be the HCF. So it will be, therefore HCF is equal to 45. Hope you understood. Let's try a few more. Okay, let's try one more. Suppose, let's see number 3. What do we have in Roman 3? We have 867 and 255. So how do we solve this? We will take 867. It can be written as 255 into. So let's try 867 and 255. So I think it will be 3. So let's try with 3. 15, 5, 1 carries 16, 1 carries 7. So it will be 102. So it is 255 into 3 plus 102. Okay. Now what will be the next step? We will take this time 255 and we will take 102 here. So 102 into 2 plus 51. 102 into 2 is 204 plus 51 is 255. Now we will take 102 is equal to 51 into 2 plus 0. 51 2s are 150 or 102. So here 51 is the divisor and remainder is 0. So therefore our HCF will be equal to 51. I hope you are getting the point that I am trying to explain here. So in the similar way, you can try the remaining sums. From question number 1, there are 8 sums given. I have shown you how to do these sums. I have given you some examples and I have solved 2 of the sums from this question number 1. Try it out yourself. Okay. Now we are going to skip a few sums in this video. Question number 2, 3, 4, 5. These sums we will do in our next video. In this video, let's try number 6 and 7 because 6 and 7 are similar to question number 1. In the middle, the 4 sums are a little bit different. They need a different concept. So we will talk about it in the next video. So here, what we have to do? Question number 6. It is said that Himadri has a collection of 625 Indian postal stamps and 325 international postal stamps. She wants to display them in identical groups of Indian and international stamps with no stamps left out. what is the greatest number of groups Himadri can display the stumps? So number of Indian stumps is what is given. Let us write what is given. It is given that number of Indian stumps is equal to 625, and the number of international stumps is equal to 325. So now what Himadri wants to do, she wants to display them in identical groups of Indian and international stumps with no stumps left out. So what is the greatest number of groups Himadri can display the stumps? So she wants to form groups of these stumps, and identical means the number of groups must be same. So what is the highest number of, means largest number of groups that she can display the stumps in? So that means she will group it. That means she will divide the 625 and the 325 into smaller units. That means suppose in one group she places 25 stumps. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Similarly, she will get 25 stumps in one group. In the second group also she will place these 25 stumps. Third group also 25 stumps. Okay. So in a similar way she will form the groups. So what is the largest number of group that she can form? In order to find the largest number of groups, that means we need to find the common factor. Means we are going to divide these numbers 625 and 325 into their factors, right? If we want to, suppose I tell you, okay, let's try one more example so that it's easier for you to understand. Let's take one instance where suppose I ask you to form groups of 15 elements. In how many ways can you form groups of 15 elements? So you can either make them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we have three groups, or you can do it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. So here also we have 15 elements, here also we have 15 elements. So what we are doing is we are dividing these numbers, these values into their factors. So 3 is a factor of 15, 5 is also a factor of 15. So what we are going to do here, we need the highest number of groups possible, right? So how to find the highest number of groups? In order to find the highest number of groups, what we need to do is we need to find the highest common factor, that is the HCF. So how to find the HCF? Yeah, so let's try. So now we will try to find the HCF. So therefore the highest number of groups is equal to HCF of 625 and 325. So how to find the HCF? We will do it by our Euclid's algorithm. So how did Euclid do it? So therefore HCF, we will try to find the HCF now. So how to do it? We have 625 can be written as 325 into 1 plus 300. Then you can go 325 is equal to 300 into 1 plus 25, and ultimately we can write 300 is equal to 25 into 12 plus 0. So here as we have got the remainder is 0, our divisor is 25. So therefore HCF is equal to 25. Okay, so therefore the required highest number of groups that we needed to find, the answer is 25. Okay, so I hope you understood how it is solved. If you have any confusion understanding the question, you can ask me in the comment section, or you can ask me directly, or you can contact me. Look at question number 7. In 7 they have asked two ropes are of length 64 centimeter and 80 centimeter. So in question number 7 we have two ropes, one is 64 centimeter and one is 80 centimeter. So now what we need to do, both are to be cut into pieces of equal length. What should be the maximum length of the pieces? So these two ropes, we have two ropes, one is 80 centimeter and one is 64 centimeter. So now they have to be cut into pieces of equal length. So what is the maximum length of the pieces? So we have to cut this rope of 80 centimeter into pieces, and also of this 64 centimeter into pieces, and the length of each piece means this length must be equal to this length. So the length of each piece from both the ropes should be equal. So this 1 2 3 4, I mean whatever number of lengths we have, and all the pieces of this must be having the same length. So what is the maximum length we can cut? So maximum length means, as we are dividing it into some parts, here we are dividing it into some parts. That means we are dividing it into their factors. Here also we are dividing this rope into some parts. That means we are dividing into their factors of their length. So we need to find the maximum number. Maximum is the highest factor, and since they need to be equal, that means we need to find the common factor. Let me repeat it again. Since we are dividing these ropes into parts, that means we are dividing them into factors. Now we need to find the highest factor, means we need to find the maximum length. In order to find the maximum length, we need to find the highest factor. And since the maximum length must be equal, that means the highest factor must also be common. So highest factor that is common means highest common factor, and highest common factor means HCF. Okay, so we are going to find the HCF of 80 and 64 in order to find the highest maximum length of the pieces. So therefore maximum length of pieces is equal to HCF of 64 and 80. And you know how to find the HCF. So for finding the HCF, we will need 80 is equal to 64 into 1 plus 16, and we can write 64 is equal to 16 into 4 plus 0. So here we have our remaining divisor, and the remainder is also 0. So therefore HCF, so therefore our HCF is equal to 16. So the maximum length of each piece can be of 16 centimeter. Okay, so if you have 16 centimeter, you can cut this 64 centimeter into 4 pieces and this 80 centimeter rope into 5 pieces. But all the pieces will be having equal length. I hope you get the point. Let me draw one example for you here. Suppose this is our rope of 80 centimeter, and we have cut it into 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have cut it into piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, piece 4, piece 5, and each are having 16 centimeter length. Okay, and suppose we have this rope which is 64 centimeter, and we cut it into 4 pieces. This is piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, piece 4, and here also all are 16 centimeters. So what we have done here is we have cut the longer rope and the shorter rope. We have cut the longer rope and the shorter rope, and by cutting both the ropes, we have got the maximum length that we can use, that can be similar. Okay, so I hope you understood how we are solving this. So for question number 6 and 7, you have to find the HCF by using Euclid's lemma. I have shown it to you how. Write this down in your copy. And from question number 1, I have solved 2 questions. The remaining 6 sums are your homework. Okay, try it out yourself. So this is for today's video. In the next video, we'll look into the remaining sums. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. And if you have any confusion, make sure you ask me or contact me. So until next time, cheers.